Gabe, the dust has settled. The confetti is on the ground. We got to look at these deals that we made leading up to the championship. So we'll start here with old Scardy. 12 team, start 10. Christian McCaffrey or sideways leg, Quinshon Judkins, and 2 26/3.
Oh, man. You mean the number one player in fantasy football, Christian McCaffrey? Give me that guy.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Welcome in to the All Gas Trade Show. I'm Ty Declare 44. I'm joined by Gabe at iGabe_FF on X, and we made it. 2025 coming to a close. 2026 on the horizon. Dynasty championships in the bag. Let's go, Gabe. How are you doing, my friend? And how did you do this championship weekend?
Oh, man. Honestly, I'm doing great. Thankfully, a little bit more money in my pocket now that the fantasy season has finished. Did pretty good, though, man. I made it to 6 out of 9 semis, and then I think I made it into 4 out of those 6 finals, and I think I won 3 out of the 4. So we're doing pretty good, man.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I know. Yeah.
Ever since I've known you, you've been very good at getting like a high percentage of your teams into the playoffs and into the championship. So I guess listen to what Gabe has to say.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But no, it was a good year. I had 19 of 32 teams make the playoffs, 12 make the semis. Only 6 got through the semis. That was hell week. But we got 3 championships, got some payouts and some other ones. So we're feeling good on this Tuesday. We're not here on Saturday, not even Sunday. We're here Tuesday. We, one, Gabe, you moved and didn't have Wi-Fi. So that's one big reason why we didn't record. But also, we wanted to let the dust settle, see how the championships played out, take a look back at the deals that the DDFFB members made going into this championship week, and now pivot it. We switch gears. What does that look like today, now that the point scoring's over and we're into the non-point scoring season? So we'll do that. But before we start, again, if you want more of this community, if you want your trades on this show, patreon.com/allgas, ddfantasyfootball.com gets you access to all the tools to dominate your leagues. And sign up for that trades and chill tier, $3.99 a month at YouTube. You get access to the Dynasty Deal Show and every other premium content we got going on over here at DDFFB. Scardy's no stranger to the DDFFB streets. So again, competing 12 teams, start 10 Superflex, 2.0 tight end premium, 0.2 point per carry, Gabe, and a 0.2 rushing receiving first down. And man, I'm personally very overweight on Christian McCaffrey. It was a good year to be overweight on Christian McCaffrey. Obviously. But I know the fear is, hey man, like this dude, he's getting older. He's turning 30 going into next season, right? Christian McCaffrey, for me, he just feels like one of those guys. I'm just going to ride till the wheels fall off. If you want to pay me like a 27 first and a nice plus, sure. Other than that, man, I'm not just giving you a championship and saying, hey, here's this Christian McCaffrey just because he's old and give me like the younger running back in the picks. So when I look at this trade, even today, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, you were a very early adopter for Quinshon Judkins, Gabe, and like 2/3 are nice. Even like with that, I just still, why would I not want Christian McCaffrey while he's doing what he's doing?
Oh yeah. I mean, and to your point, I think right now, obviously it's different doing this analysis now that we know the outcome of the game, right? And to no one's surprise, Christian McCaffrey absolutely obliterated the Chicago Bears. So to no shock there. And so, sometimes we make these deals and it's worth it, man. If it puts money into your pocket and you ultimately win the league, that's what we're all here to do, right? You want to try to win these championships year in and year out. And Quinshon Judkins is a guy that I really do like, and I am very optimistic about his future in Cleveland, especially as Shedeur takes that next step in the offense. And I do think next year he could be, maybe a viable player once he comes back, right? Assuming that he may not start at the beginning of the year, depending on what happens with his leg and how he's recovering. But, for me, this almost feels like a Quinshon Judkins before his injury price, right? Because now that that there's no guarantee that he's going to start next season, I just don't know why you would want to make this type of pivot. Again, typically Christian McCaffrey, to your point, until I'm proven otherwise, I'm just going to continue to hold on to him and just pray that he continues to do this production until one day it doesn't, right? And so he's just such an elite asset that I would be willing to give up a injured, younger running back, for the potential upside. And again, the upside here is I don't know that Quinshon Judkins will ever have the ceiling that Christian McCaffrey ever has.
No. And I've said it multiple times in this show is I don't want to hold my dynasty value at running back. Right? Yeah, running backs are what they are, especially injured ones, right? Yeah. And again, I hope Quinshon Judkins is on that Cam Scattaboo timeline where he's going to be streaming on Twitch in a couple weeks and he's going to look fine, right? But until proven otherwise, it's Christian McCaffrey here. And like even for Scardy's team, Allen Daniels, Mac Jones, Sanders, and 6 backups, Bijan, Henry, Javonte, CMC, Ramondre, and backups. Nico, Tet, T, Worthy, Jacoby, Kittle, Henry, Parkinson, JD Sanders. That's all well and good.
It's a good team.
It's a great team, right? I hope that won the championship. With an Allen down week, maybe not, but we'll see.
But Bijan and Henry,
they probably won
this last week. I was going to say, I think between Bijan, Henry, and CMC, you probably scored at least 150 points. At least.
And if I have CMC on this team, right, I can almost talk out of both sides of my face. I could say, well, I have Bijan, Henry, Javonte. Like I should look to flip CMC and just get what I can or try to get some actual dynasty value. But also, Gabe, if I have a team like this and I just add a CMC, I feel zero pressure of what if this CMC asset, goes belly up next year. It's like, I don't care because it doesn't tank my team and I only upgrade my ceiling by having CMC here. I don't feel like CMC going to 0 tanks this team at all just because you've constructed it well. Do you see that kind of the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, I don't know what your cost of acquisition was, right? Obviously it's Quinshon Judkins right now, which doesn't feel like it's such a heavy cost of acquisition, if you will. I think for me, this almost seems like I just mentioned the cost of what Quinshon Judkins was prior to his injury. Now that he's injured, I mean, Tyre, do you think people are willing to still pay a liquid 27 first for Quinshon Judkins right now that he's injured?
I don't think so. Gabe, let me ask you, Quinshon Judkins or Derrick Henry?
Man. I probably will take Derrick Henry, but just again, knowing that that's probably going to be falling out. The floor probably is going to be falling out here very, very soon.
Right. Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne. How about that range?
Yeah, I think I'll definitely take Quinshon over Travis. But Josh Jacobs, I'm still going to take Josh Jacobs.
Okay. So like those proven veteran running backs who have just been what they are, you're going to take the sure thing there. If it's someone's kind of a bit of a flash in the pan, you're going to take that upside with Quinshon because Quinshon Judkins looked dope before he got hurt. Like really good. He was having a good game too. I know because I think I had him in my lineup against either you or someone else, but So again, I don't want to discount what Quinshon Judkins could be. People are still excited about him, 1.5 legs. Again, wish him all the best in the recovery. I have a lot of him left to kind of use in dynasty. So hoping he comes back strong. 2 26 thirds are not the reason why I'm making a deal. And I think just 1 for 1, it's CMC every time for me.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, let's take a look at another Quinshon deal. We appreciate you, Scardy. Hope you won this week. This one comes from old Crespo. 12 team start 10 Superflex PPR. It's a lineup league. So Crespo sends away Quinshon, sends away Jordan Addison and a 26 third. He gets back Steph Diggs, Saquon Barkley, and Jacoby Myers. So Crespo got hit with injuries last week. He was scraping to the bottom of the barrel to try and fill a lineup for the championship. Those 3 immediately take up spots for me in this week with the good matchups. So, I mean, Steph Diggs, he did all right.
Yeah.
Barkley, the whole Eagles offense was kind of weird this weekend. Myers, it was more so a Parker Washington game than Myers game, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't really think anybody on either side really did much of anything.
Well, Addison had like a mid-teen level, like he had a decent week.
Yeah.
But regardless, right? These are the kind of deals where, I mean, for me, like this, it does make sense. Like you send away an injured guy, a young hopeful, and a third. You get 3 hopefully locked in studs. One of them being Saquon Barkley, right? You make that bet. What I don't want to do, maybe it's specifically between like Jordan Addison and Myers or Diggs. If I don't feel like I'm getting good value coming back in that deal for that asset, I don't want to make a deal just because I think that this player is going to score more points this specific week. Because how many times this season alone have we thought the outcome was going to be this and it ended up being completely different, right? And like this year more so than ever, it felt like the variance really bit us multiple weeks in a row.
It was brutal, especially these last couple of weeks, man. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, you had Jahmyr Gibbs that went out there and like put up 6 points, and like it just, the variance of it was so bad, especially this coming up in the semis was horrible.
Yeah. So my question, Gabe, then is this deal in context. So we made it going into the championship week, hoping to fill a lineup. We are now Tuesday, December 30th. How do you feel about this deal in a 12x10 Superflex PPR?
I mean, honestly, I still feel the same way, right? Like at the end of the day, if you're going to sit here and ask me Quinshon Judkins for Saquon Barkley 1-for-1, Ty, I'm still going to take Saquon Barkley, man, 1-for-1. Again, I'm not having to worry about an injury with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley still has a higher ceiling, as we've already talked about with Christian McCaffrey. He's got a higher ceiling than Quinshon Judkins. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the Eagles have a very, very, very good team. And that's just what I'm going to continue to bet on, man. I'm going to continue to bet on him to have a bounce back year next year. Or I just believe he's probably an asset that's probably a little bit easier to move in the offseason if we need to, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, though, Jordan Addison, Stephon Diggs, Jacoby Myers, I mean, really, I think production-wise, any of these three guys can outscore each other week to week. I'm going to take the chance on 2 darts over 1. Really, the only thing that you're factoring in here is age, and for like back end wide receiver 2s, I'm not factoring in age very much. Give me the multiple opportunities than just the one opportunity. That's all it is.
That's really well said. Like just this range of wide receiver, right? It's just, I don't know. I don't care if one guy's a couple years younger. Like going week over week, like especially knowing what we know about Minnesota, man. Like are we really trusting that situation right now?
It's brutal. I mean, people aren't even wanting to buy into Justin Jefferson right now. And so you're wanting to tell me you're willing to buy into the second or third option there? I mean, if you're not willing to buy into the wide receiver 1 for this team, then why would you want to buy into the wide receiver 2 or 3 for this team?
Right. Which, I mean, it's probably a conversation of we should probably go buy some Jefferson, for next year and hope it does turn around, right? Hope for the second, or I guess technically third year glow up for JJM and, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, I'm looking at KTC right now. Quinshon Judkins is a spot higher than Christian McCaffrey, higher than Breece Hall, higher than Saquon Barkley, higher than Kyron Williams, higher than RJ Harvey still.
Yep. And I guarantee you it's only because of youth.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's the only reason why. It's the youth aspect, and he had a couple of good flashes, right? But at the end of the day, maybe KTC isn't factoring in the injury as much, because running backs, man, the reality is that they take a little bit of time to bounce back from injuries, especially, severe injuries like that. And so I think we're going to have to be hopeful. And I think there will be another opportunity to buy Quinshon Judkins. If he starts out let's say he doesn't start out the year, there's going to be an opportunity to buy him back, because people, once the season rolls around next year, people are going to be wanting to actively, hey, I need somebody who's going to be in my lineup. This guy's not playing right now. You have an opportunity to buy him. Second is, let's say he does come back and he starts off very slow. Then people are going to be very quick to be like, you know what? I don't want this guy. I need somebody that produces a little bit faster, that's already off to a hot start. Boom, another window of opportunity to buy him, right? So I do think the value of Quinshon Judkins is going to get a little bit lower before it does end up shooting back up, if you will.
What I'm foreseeing myself doing, Gabe, is probably waiting until like I'm on the clock in the draft. If I have like one of these 1-9, 110, 111 picks.
Oh, yeah.
Can I send that for Quinshon Judkins straight up?
No, I'm sure you probably could. I mean, again, assuming that people would be right now, we just need to let the steam, I think, build up from this class, because again, everybody's been pooping on it for the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think once the combine rolls around, once different things kind of start showing up, then people will start to gain interest in the class. Once they see, these prospects running at the combine or at the pro day or whatever it is, then people are going to be like, you know what? Yeah, Ty, I'll take your 111 for Quinshon Judkins, because I really like this guy over here, right? And so we just have to wait, though. I don't know necessarily that right now is the best time to be selling picks.
Yeah. when we were actively trying to win games and construct lineups. I have been sending a lot of my projected late 26 first, but I've been getting back guys that I would happily spend that pick on like 8 days a week. Like I sent all of my picks in 26 for Harold Fannin in a start 2 tight end best ball league. Easy price to pay, right? Like you'll find those deals that actually make sense. But here, we're looking ahead, but I also want to talk about here today, Gabe. One last time this year, do you want to strap in for the old hot seat?
Ooh, let's do it.
Okay, let's get this.
Strapping in both ways. Let's do it.
Let's go. Tighten it up. So I got Quinshawn Judkins pulled up in the trade database on dynasty-daddy.com. Shouts out to Jeremy for another great year. Bring us a bunch of cool tools. If you haven't poked around Dynasty Daddy, do so. Get your Dynasty wrapped. You can use it on Red Zone. I guess you have to wait for next year to get your Red Zone back on. But there's so many tools. If we're reviewing your roster, we're using Dynasty Daddy to help to understand everything. So can't say enough good things about Dynasty Daddy. But all right, Gabe, here we go. So max 4 assets. We'll call it a 12 by 10, right? It is December 30th. And I just want to know, what side do you want? Are you ready?
Perfect. Let's do it.
Bijan Robinson or Quinshawn Judkins and 227 first.
Damn. I will take Bijan. That is close.
Matt Stafford and Bijan or Jaden Daniels and Quinshawn?
Matt Stafford and Bijan or Jaden Daniels and
Quinshawn?
Judkins. I'll still take Bijan.
Okay. Saquon Barkley or Judkins in a second?
Saquon Barkley or Judkins in a second. Yeah, I mean, that one I can go either way. I'll probably still take Saquon.
Okay. Jonathan Taylor or Quinshawn Judkins, and let's call it a mid 26 first.
Ooh. I'll take Jonathan Taylor.
I don't disagree with you on any of that. If you told me that was like early first, I could maybe walk my way into that side there.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I just can't discredit what Jonathan Taylor's done this year.
No.
I mean, we talk about Christian McCaffrey being an incredible difference maker. Jonathan Taylor was right there with him. Yeah. Bijan was right there with him, and so I think the closest one and the most difficult one for me, man, was the 2 first in Quinshawn Judkins, the first initial trade for Bijan. And I will tell you, I know we've talked about it. I don't love holding my value at running back, and 27 first already are liquid gold. So yes, I get it from a process standpoint, right, of wanting to make that move. But in a 12 by 10 shallow format, I mean, if you're telling me that it's going to be a little bit maybe mid to late 27 first, I just, Bijan is such a difference maker, man. And I'm not guaranteed to get, my value back with Quinshawn, especially at least not right away. And so I would rather, I think at any time, I guess at any point, somebody would be willing to pay around 3 first value for Bijan, right? So that's kind of where my mind went of like, you can get 2 first plus a running back at any given point for Bijan Robinson. And so I think I'd rather just roll the dice and continue holding Bijan, if you will.
Yeah.
Especially
I made that a little harder on you because it was Quinshawn a 26 first and a 27 first. I'm assuming that makes it easier to take the Bijan side. Now,
yeah.
Let's just stake on this one really quick. So this was a 12-team start 11 PPR best ball.
See, that makes a difference now.
Yes, it does.
That makes a difference for me because again, it's already very close as it is. As I just mentioned, like in a lineup league, I literally only made the deal because it was a 12 by 10 shallow league.
Yeah.
In a best ball league, and it's 12 by 11. I probably will take the gamble man on the first and Quinshawn Judkins.
Yeah.
But it's a close trade.
Like super late. I might feel a little differently, but we don't know that. But that's the type of stuff that I want to have conversations about the offseason, right? Is like, how are we projecting this forward? Like, what is the value of like this pick, but not like to our team, to this, like, what would we do in those circumstances? Because I know in best ball, man, it's tough for me to send multiple first and a player for a player, especially in best ball.
Oh yeah.
But also, if I have a plan, I can operate without my first in best ball with a good team. And for the right price, give me Bijan Robinson on the right team. 227 first in Quinshawn, I'm definitely on that side.
Just because of what you can do with it, man. Just because of 100%. What you can, like, could you turn it around like in season, right? Because we're still kind of thinking like we're still in the mentality of in season, right? I know a lot of us are already exhausted of talking fantasy football a little bit because it's kind of like, man, we've been having to do trades 24/7, or we've been having to like do roster construction, whatever it is. But Ty, if you're in season, man, and you're able to get Saquon Barkley, Quinshon Judkins, and insert another high end running back, like a like a Josh Jacobs type, right? Like, let's just say Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Quinshon Judkins for Bijan Robinson in a 12x11 best ball league.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to take 3 darts every single time. I mean,
I'm just going to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think you can probably buy Saquon with the 27 first. You can probably buy Jacobs with the 27 first. And you get Quinshon Judkins, right? So I think at that point, it makes such a big difference to the roster construction of your team that you would probably be willing to make, that type of pivot, if you will. And that's why I think in context, and we say it all the time, but context matters so much in a lot of these trades. Like, again, instantly you see how the mentality shifts of like, oh, 12x10. Okay, yeah, I'll take Bijan. Oh, 12x11 best ball. Okay, yeah, give me the assets that I can do more with.
Yeah. It just feels like now more than ever, there's maybe 20 assets in Dynasty that we really put future Dynasty value on, and everything else is just the messy middle.
But even then, like, and I agree, because you can think about it, like, say somebody that was such a darling of the fantasy community, Jaden Daniels, right? Yeah. Jaden Daniels was such a untouchable asset.
101
untouchable
in a
asset.
lot of leagues.
Yes, there were people taking him over Josh Allen. I mean, like, he was the premier asset to grab. Mm-hmm. And dude, now people were, oh yeah, sure, I'll give you Joe Burrow plus, or Jalen Hurts plus for, it's just like people are willing to pivot off of them, and that's how the sentiment changes on a lot of these players so fast. And so you have to be adaptable, you have to be flexible with all of these players as you go through and evaluate them year over year. I mean, dude, Drake May. I mean, talk about a guy who's probably damn near the top. Like, he's probably 102, 103 right now, right? And it just, that mentality shifts so fast for everybody.
Yeah. Gun to your head, Lamar or May? You're going to start up right now.
I mean, I'm probably still going to take Lamar, but it's very close. It's very, 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 very close.
Yeah. That's the conversation now, right?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't fault you if you want to take Drake May. Again, I mean, you get the younger asset, right? And you get the asset that was producing like an MVP candidate.
From a purely portfolio perspective, I'd have to take May there.
See, I mean, I couldn't fault you for that. I would not fault you at all for that. I just think right now it's not. Right now is a good time to buy a guy like Lamar Jackson because the sentiment is so bad on him.
Yes, 100%.
Whereas Drake May is probably not the time to buy him because the sentiment is so good on him right now.
Yeah. Same thing as, why would you sell your Brock Bowers today when you know you're not going to get the return you want, right?
Correct.
We have a ton of trades to get to, but these are all conversations I've had in my head all week. After the power went out and we weren't able to talk for a while, it was just like, I had Mahomes go down. It's like, would I rather trade Mahomes for a guy 3 tiers lower that like I'd kind of scoff at a week ago, or do I just commit to replacing that cheaper, hold on to Mahomes and figure it out next year? And I did that and won in a league. I didn't trade away my Mahomes. That felt great. But
honestly, that was kind of my sentiment too in a lot of these leagues, like where I had, a Mahomes injury. I went and probably paid a little bit too much sometimes in some of these leagues for like a guy like Jacoby Brissett. Yeah. But I'm like, I'd rather make a pivot like that than send my Patrick Mahomes, for Bryce Young in a second, because again, it was just, I need a starting quarterback, or, okay, sure. I'll buy Sam Darnold in a second from you for Patrick Mahomes just because I need a spot start quarterback. Like, I'd rather not make those type of deals. And to your point, just go and buy, the week to week asset like the Jacoby Brissett, or even as gross as it was, I think I did it in one league where I think I paid either a late second or something like that for like Geno Smith. Again, it's not great, but at least I didn't have to move Patrick Mahomes for less than,
Right, 100%. Okay, let's get this train back on the tracks here. Oh God, I'm on the wrong screen. Let's go over here. Bang, bang. Okay, let's go Shepherd 87. There's a 12-team start 10 super flex, a PPR 0.5 tight end premium. The draft pick was this guy's own pick, and it should be the 109. Okay, So Shepard, he was the first place team by a margin. Kittle was his only tight end, so you wanted to get ahead of it going into the offseason.
Yeah, Kelsey.
What did I say? Kittle?
Yeah, Kittle.
My bad. Kelsey, the other 30-year-old running tight end on a red jersey team. The guy I'm trading with just got eliminated, so he dangled that 109, right? Which, hey, good on you for recognizing, hey, I have this guy's first. Let's dangle that. But yeah, Chimere DK, 26 first, aka the 109, and a 26 third for the guy Tyler Warren, a 0.5 tight end premium, 12 by 10. Gabe, does Tyler Warren still have the oomph that we've seen throughout parts of the season?
Talk about, again, sentiments changing very fast. Very, very fast. Daniel Jones goes down with an injury. Tyler Warren's nowhere to be found. And now his value has dropped. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of leaving people wondering, like, okay, what do I do with this guy? Ty, for me, the tight end position is already such a scarce position, man. When you have a guy like Tyler Warren that goes out there and can produce at the level that he was playing at, and then his quarterback goes down, that's probably not an indictment on Tyler Warren. It's probably an indictment on the quarterback getting injured. And I'm probably going to continue to make the bet on Tyler Warren bouncing back from that next year. So for me, easily, I would pay a 109 and DK for Tyler Warren right now.
Yeah, that's still a pretty easy price for me to pay.
Yeah.
I love old Chimere DK, right? Especially in these leagues where you get points for kickoff point, like return and punt return yards. DK went off for you. But yeah, again, tight end, you mentioned it. It's such a have or have not position. And like the trope before was like, oh, tight ends won't do anything until like year 3 because it takes time. But we saw Tyler Warren light the world on fire immediately, right? And we've seen guys like this do it. Bowers, Laporta, Fannin, right? Even Oronde Gadsden for a little bit. Like we've seen guys in the past come out on fire, stay on fire, and that dynasty value does sustain. Even Sam Laporta, man, like he's had back surgery. He didn't play for like the latter half of this season. I bet he's still below Tyler Warren, but still in striking distance, right? It probably a bit more of a player preference at that time, right? So these guys who start hot and stay hot until the situation changes, I'm not changing my valuation because Daniel Jones went down, right? Frustrating for sure, but I think it's green grass and high tides in the future here. So I'll happily take Tyler Warren myself as well. Again, I think it's one of those like, how do I want to use my 26 first today? Especially these late ones. What can I package up to get something nice? Gabe, I think I'm taking Tyler Warren over 101 or not. Well, 102. Let's call it 102. I think if it was 102 or Tyler Warren today, I might take Tyler Warren.
It's definitely a conversation. Like I said, and I think for me right now, it's just not the time, man, to be moving those high end picks.
Yes.
You know, I think for me, in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, yes, I would take Tyler Warren over the 102. Okay. That being said, though, what I believe, especially just the way that the outlook looks, right? In my opinion, at least in my brain right now, Tyler Warren is probably leveling out a little bit, right? But for a while, he was dropping. And so I don't want to be the person that's necessarily like buying right at this time, right? That being said, though, the picks are really low in value right now. And I do believe over the coming months, they're going to slowly start to creep back up. So I do believe that there is going to be a situation where the 102 is more valuable than Tyler Warren. And so I don't know that I necessarily want to pay. If I have the 102 right now, I probably would not want to give you my 102 for Tyler Warren right now. Now I'm on the clock, whatever. Now we've seen the combine play out. We've seen the draft play out. Then at that point, I would be willing to make that pivot because I believe that I'm going to be able to get something on top of your Tyler Warren to get that 102.
Yeah. And that's the way to play it. Again, we are at the bottom of like the draft pick value cycle.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Combine, we're going to get a nice bump. NFL draft, we're going to go crazy. And then you'll be on the clock in your dynasty leagues and most leagues, right? Except for those freak ones where we draft before the draft. Those are crazy.
Those are, yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Now is not the time to be selling your 101s, 102s, hell, anything 106 and above. I'm putting that in a vault and just waiting and just hoping. Anything below there, I'm using guys like Chimere DK and a 26th third to go and get guys like Tyler Warren.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Old Shep there. So hopefully you won that one. You're in first place by a wide margin, and you got Tyler Warren ahead of time. So really nice. Okay, let's go on to Jackson Tribe. 12 team, start 9, super flex. Starting my older, unwanted running back horde for young, okay guys and unwanted picks. So we are sending away running backs with a little bit of name value where we don't want to hold the dynasty value. We're sending unwanted picks to try to get into these people who are just throwing away into the trash. David Montgomery feels like one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
I didn't fall into the end zone enough this year. Older people are done.
Oh yeah.
Tajee Spears in a 26th third or David Montgomery. Gabe, I'm a sucker for pain. I'm a sucker for pain. Give me Monty.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Give me Monty. I mean, I'm right there with you. I just don't know what I've seen David Montgomery be a great running back. Like I've seen him be a good running back. I mean, what am I holding out hope for on Tajee Spears in a 26th third? In such a shallow format, I mean, again, you're probably hoping that you're not starting either one of these guys, but I can tell you, Ty, right now, if I have to start one, it's going to be David Montgomery very, very easily. Very easily. And I do believe that David Montgomery is one Jahmyr Gibbs injury away from being fantastic.
Yeah. Like he'll be 29 next year? He's not even a big 3-0. So like I feel like we've written him off as like a 33-year-old running back at this point. I'm looking at JB's tiers right now. He's got Tajee Spears and David Montgomery pretty well back to back. Fantasy Calc has David Montgomery 34, Tajee Spears 41.
Close enough.
Got them listed about like a random 28 second. If I had to send a random 28 second today, I'm probably doing it more so for Monty than I would Spears.
Oh yeah.
If you see these two guys, the same thing, you get the leverage deal, the plus with a 26 third. Cool. Okay. 26 thirds, not really the reason I want to make a deal or break a deal, but I think I'll just stand with Monty, know what I know. Again, if Spears couldn't make it happen with Pollard and like a abysmal offense, I guess he had that one reception that got called back this week, which is okay. But just give me Monty.
Oh yeah. Now
Jackson Tribe wasn't done there. You got another one done. You acquired DJ Moore for 2/3 in 2026.
Man,
I'm not a
talk about a fall from grace.
Fan, but talk about a falling knife. This is one of them. 2/3, Gabe. If you put him in your lineup, he actively hurt you this championship weekend. But for 2/3, I will get hurt again.
I was gonna say, man, they say don't catch a falling knife, but damn it, time. Both of my hands are trying to catch that blade right now. If this is the price, if 2/3 is the price for DJ Moore, damn it, man, I'm just willing to be hurt again, I guess. Misery loves company, Ty. Misery loves company.
I'm just thinking of like all the wide receivers like in the range of DJ Moore. I'd happily pay 2/3 for the lot of them.
Okay, dude. 2 weeks ago, okay? Let's talk about this, okay? The last 2 weeks, not this past week against San Francisco. 12-20 against Green Bay. 5 for 7 for 97 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
What wide receiver are you buying that has that type of opportunity for 2/3? None. I'll answer the question. None. You sit there and then the game before that against Cleveland. 4 for 69 and 2.
Yeah.
None have the outlook that DJ Moore could have. And all you're giving up is 2/3. I'm willing to catch it, man. I'm willing to catch the knife. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's going to be games where you get burned like this past week where he had 1 catch for 7 yards and that was it.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to gamble, man. I'm willing to play with fire there.
QJ had a hot end of the season. But QJ, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Troy Franklin, Alec Pierce, DJ Moore, Jaden Higgins, Jordan Addison, Christian Watson, Mike Evans, Josh Downs, Steph Diggs, Mike Wilson, Chris Godwin. Would you send 2/3 for Brandon Ayuk? Is that the line?
I mean, I think I would still send 2/3 for Brandon Ayuk. It's not good, but again, I mean, at least I have something to hold on to. Like it just, again, 26th third, man, you're not hopeful for any of the guys that you're drafting. Again,
no.
Are there guys that do come out of those picks? Yes, but the hit rate is like 10%. It's like, okay, great. So you have a 10% chance to find somebody that will actually be somewhat viable. Yes, I will take Brandon Ayuk, who I've seen be viable on a fantasy football team and in the NFL. Right now, he's not playing, but I would be willing to take the gamble.
Yeah. I'm all for moving off DJ Moore for the right price, but I'm not selling.
2/3 is not it.
What the dog doing?
2/3? Come on.
2/3 is not it, my friend.
Come on. I really appreciate you, Jackson Tribe. Let's get old Gene Parmesan in the building here. I'll just let you look at that trade there. So that made the pivot.
Sixth.
Yeah, 6th round pick involved. You know, we're talking big things here. So he made this pivot off Burrow today. Well, not today, but last week. 12 teams, start 10 Superflex, 2.0 tight end premium. It's a 0.25 point per carry. And the pick values involved here are 2.5, 4.3, and yes, 6.01. So
Jesus.
Joe Burrow, 2.5, 4.3, and the 6.01 being sent away for Dak Prescott, Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, and Jawan Jennings. Gene Parmesan says this team is pure buns, but I've got the 101, 105, 107, 110, 201, and 527 first. Things we love to see. He had 0 running backs before this trade. His wide receivers were T-Mac, Burden, and Cans. All of his value is tied up in Burrow and tight ends of Bowers, Warren, Fannin, and Kraft. Well, that's a tie declared tight ender if I've ever seen one. Gene's looking to be competitive next year. He feels is a smooth way to do it in December without selling draft capital. So let's pause there. So send away Burrow, 2.5, 4.3, and the most coveted pick, 6.01 for Dak, Jacobs, Wilson, and Jennings. So, gosh, where does the math start here, Gabe?
I mean, I'll tell you right now, the 4 and the 6, they're not even. I mean, quite literally, they are worthless. They are worthless picks. I don't even know, Ty, would you be able to tell me 60 players right now that you know are coming into the draft that will be in the NFL draft from an offensive perspective? I was going to say, so that 6th round pick is crazy. Crazy.
Can I take futures on a guy in 27? Like, what are we doing
My
here?
God.
6th round rookie picks and a 12 by 10. Crazy.
Yeah. So for me, again, I'm not even counting those picks as anything. Really, it's Burrow the 2nd for everything else, right? And dude, Dallas, Dak, dude, they are just such good fantasy producers. Like, they are just such good fantasy producers. And Dak played so good this year, man. So good this year. I think for me, looking at this deal, Dak and Josh Jacobs or Joe Burrow. Again, I think you're getting the youth perspective, and I want to hear you. I want you to hear me out before you give me your answer. Okay. Yeah. Youth perspective wise, yes, you're getting the younger quarterback in Joe Burrow. That being said, though, I want to tell you, like, how did that sentiment change, man, so fast on Joe Burrow when he got injured? It was, he's always injured. He's got the injury tag. He's, you know what I mean? And again, now that he's back, obviously the sentiment shifts a little bit on him. But if anything happens to this guy, everybody's so quick, man, to just want to be off of him. Like, it's just so quick to move him. And when he was injured, it was incredibly difficult to move off of him. Mm-hmm. Incredibly difficult to move off of him. So
very hard.
A guy like Dak, who week to week, man, I think Dak could outscore Joe Burrow any given week. Just like I think Joe Burrow could outscore Dak any given week. But I think most of the time they're going to be 1-for-1. You take your pick on who you think will outscore the other. It's probably going to be matchup dependent. And then you get a potential high-end running back one in Josh Jacobs when healthy, right? Because obviously I know at the end of the season he wasn't. But when healthy, you get a high-end veteran running back in Josh Jacobs. Those two for Joe Burrow, which way are you going?
Funny enough, man, Dak Prescott's currently 32 years old. Joe Burrow's 29.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like he's like a 24, 25-year-old stud anymore, right? Like, he is a veteran that has gone through the ringer to remain relevant and stay healthy. And a 0.25 PPC, I think it's a mid 26 first, like probably at a minimum for Jacobs. Dak even
Dak
more
in
so.
a mid 26 first for Joe Burrow.
This is where it's an interesting question, right? Because in point scoring season, that split makes a lot of sense. I'm getting the same thing out of Dak, and then I get a Jacobs piece, which fits very nicely in pretty much any running back room.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm thinking about we're entering non-point scoring season, and this is the season where those far and few between dynasty assets truly matter. And maybe we can, I don't need to have the team built out today if I can consolidate and then split out in the right way once I have more information.
Yep.
So today on December 30th, I'll take Joe Burrow. If we were in September, especially if this was a best ball league, I can definitely talk myself into that split. And I'm going to just kind of jump ahead to where you're going. If we add in the 205, Wilson and Jennings don't really make that up for me. I'll stand with Burrow.
There you go. Yeah. And that's what I was basically going to ask you. Right. And so, I think for me, I'm right there with you. I do think it's Burrow in the second, but I don't think it's very far off. Right. And so what I do want to say is I do believe right now, Ty, as this transition's happening, boom, championships were just finished. You know who the champion is. We're getting ready to the offseason. This is a good time, in my opinion, to buy veterans because you can get them at reduced cost, right? Oh, I don't want that 32, 33-year-old Dak Prescott. Like, yes, I want to take the chance on the new quarterback coming in, the draft class. Okay, well, here you go, because I know what I'm going to be getting with Dak Prescott next year, and so that's where, you have to play the game, right? And I do believe that sometimes fantasy managers, they're a little bit too easy to read, if you will, too easy to read. Like, it's like, oh, okay, boom, the switch is happening. Boom. I don't want these old guys, get them off my team. Let me get the young assets. And then it's like, okay, sure. That's fine. Give me the older veterans. And that's how you're able to really build out a strong veteran roster as you gear up for the season, right? The NFL season, because I guarantee you, as soon as week 1 rolls around, everybody wants to turn back and buy those veterans. And now they've gone up so much in cost because you know what you're going to be getting from them week to week.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, if I was in Gene Parmesan's shoes, what would I have tried to do? I think I'd probably, it's a noisy deal with the 4th and the 6th, right? It's Joe Burrow and 2-5, then Dak and Jacobs. I think you wipe the slate with Jennings and Wilson, just take them out, right? They might be wanting to move them. That's just noise in the deal. I want a better wide receiver if I can. Could I get Dak, Jacobs, and everyone's now favorite wide receiver, Luther Burton? All right. Could I get Dak, Jacobs, and Waddle? Could I get Dak, Jacobs, Tucker Kraft at a 2.0 tight end premium? Even George Kittle, right? I think if the third piece in that deal made sense, I'm down with it. Yeah. But I was already kind of on the fence there, like we just talked about with like the Burrow split. And then the rest of the deal doesn't make me think that it moved your team forward. Yeah. Do you share that outlook? Do you see it any differently?
I mean, I do. Again, I can understand. Like, I can see this deal from both ways, right? Like, I don't think it's Joe Burrow by a landslide. I don't think it's Dak by a landslide. Like, I think it really is going to just be dependent on what you are willing to risk, because again, at the end of the day, you go into the offseason with veterans, there is a risk associated with that, right? I mean, there's a chance that there's an offensive coordinator change or a head coaching change in Green Bay. And now you're like, okay, well, what does that mean for Josh Jacobs? Or, Jerry Jones goes off and does Jerry Jones things. And you're like, oh, well, damn, that does affect Dakota or Dak a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, so now what am I doing? Or, again, who knows what the outlook looks like right now in Cincinnati, because it wasn't great there for a little bit, right? I mean, there could be a head coaching change right now in Cincinnati as well. So it's like, what does that look like for Joe Burrow, right? So typically you're going to want to hold your value a little bit more in the younger assets just because they have a little bit more time to, to bounce back, if you will, versus the veterans. But I mean, I agree. If you could have gotten, I think, a little bit of a better wide receiver rather than Juwan Jennings, I do think that this could have shifted me a little bit more. But I mean, as the deal's constructed again, I could go either which way. For the sake of transferring into the offseason, I'll take Joe Burrow in a second.
Yeah. Well, Gene Parmesan wasn't done there. He followed up the Burrow deal with a fringy deal for Monty. Again, no running backs besides him and Jacobs. Plenty of picks to spare. Yeah, when we're talking a 26th, 3rd, and 27th, 4th, Gabe, this ain't fringy at all, man. This is
not at all.
This is Monty.
Oh yeah, very easily, very easily.
He'll be a bell cow once again, I swear. We appreciate you, Gene. Hope you have a good new year and a good off season here.
Yes, sir.
The Frog, specifically the Frog 2, 12-team Superflex PPR, start 10, 0.5 tight end premium. Make both these deals to the 2 teams in the championship. So the Frog got knocked out, and he's like, hey, I got these 2 guys. I'm going to play them against each other. I'm going to sell to you. I'm going to sell to you. So first deal.
I love it.
He sends away that man, DJ Moore, Kenny Gainwell in a 4th, gets Jordan Addison in a 27th, 3rd. So talk to me. We talked DJ Moore. Kenny Gainwell, surprised expectations. One of those found
He's actually pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Right? And an offense that no one knew, which if you could have just had Pittsburgh tight end as a player to plug in, you would have been great. But other than that, it's a very big mess. But Moore, Gainwell in a 4th, Addison and a 3rd. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, as we're transitioning, right? So I think if I am it's a lineup league actually. So I was going to make a comment and I'm not going to make that comment. I'm going to revert back to my original thought. Jordan Addison and DJ Moore for me, 1 for 1, man. I'm going to take Jordan Addison over DJ Moore pretty comfortably, pretty comfortably. But again, we go back to, I don't like the Minnesota offensive situation. I don't like that situation. And that's where I do believe I lose a little bit of that value in Jordan Addison, because I think Jordan Addison himself is a great receiver. He's a great deep threat too. He is a very, very good complementary receiver to Justin Jefferson. We have a little bit of recency bias right now because the offensive situation has not been great. But I do believe, for me, Jordan Addison for DJ Moore and Kenny Gainwell, I'm going to take Jordan Addison, man. Like I said, but I can understand why if I need a running back start, I would want that Kenneth Gainwell. But as good as Kenneth Gainwell has been week to week, you don't feel comfortable sitting there plugging and playing him every single week. He's not a guy, again, he's a guy that I would want more in a best ball league versus in a lineup league, because had you started him this past week, you would have gotten 7 for 26 and 3 for 12. So you'd have gotten all of 5 points. He's not a guy that you're wanting to really advocate for or really wanting to buy in. And so, again, it was, to your point, found money. I'm going to just still take Jordan Addison in the 27th, 3rd and hope for the best.
Yeah. I'm interested here, right? Because switching to off-season mode, I'm going to want the guy who could ascend in value. And if we're talking Addison versus Moore, just knowing that community that we're in, I'm going to say that the 23-year-old Addison has a better chance to increase in value as things seem to clear up around Minnesota. And we get the report in April that JJ McCarthy's been working hard all offseason. He's in the best shape of his life, and he's reworked
Put
his
on
mechanics.
10 pounds and he's ready to go. And
exactly. Kevin O'Connell's, waxing poetic about JJ. Yeah, I can see it already, right?
Oh, yeah.
Moore, Gainwell. I think for a championship week trade on the champions side, DJ Moore, Gainwell in a 4th, that makes a lot of sense for me to send away an Addison and a 3rd to get those 2 shots if they are both in my lineup. DJ Moore, you didn't get the results you wanted. Gainwell, did he do anything? No,
he scored 5 points. It was 10 for 27 and 3 for 12. No touchdowns.
There you go. So
he gave you all of 5 points. So between DJ Moore and Kenneth Gainwell in your championship league week, you got maybe 7 points out of both of them.
And Addison scored 15? More than both of them combined?
Yep.
So
because he had a 65-yard bomb touchdown.
That is the deal I don't want to make. I don't want to bet that I know better than variance. If I have 2 wide receivers that I think are kind of in the same spot, if I have, 3rd, a 4th, a running back, however that maths out for you, if it's all well and equal and the reason you're doing the deals because you think that this outcome is going to happen, this year has really whacked me on the head to say, don't do that. Go cross positional. Go figure something else out before you try to make a conviction bet based on what you think is going to happen. Very easy to say in hindsight. I'm aware of that. But now that the games are over, Gabe, and we're here today, Addison in a 3rd, DJ Moore, Gainwell in a 4th, I think people will still argue both sides, but I'm going to go on the possibly ascending value of Jordan Addison.
Oh, yeah.
Get that 27 third. If first are gold, third must be too, right?
I mean, hey, they say it's a deep class, right?
Yeah. The Frog, again, wasn't done. He said he sold to both sides of the aisle. Sent Wandale in a second for a 2027 third. Or first.
Great deal. Great deal.
Great deal. As a fan of Wandale and a fan of 27 picks in general, it's the 27 first, and it's not close.
Not close at all.
Yeah, not close.
Not close at all.
There's
still a guy. I think his name is like Malik Neighbors. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look there, and then oh yeah, like again, like that. The Giants' offense, they have the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Assuming they don't replace Dart, like you'll have Dart, Scattaboo, Wandale to at least to start the year. Wandale should probably start faster than Neighbors will, just based on
for sure.
Current
and Wandale did really good this past week too.
Really good.
Yeah. So I mean, I think if you're the championship team and this guy, Wandale was able to help you win the championship, then you're probably not upset about it, right? But just given the value of these picks and what I believe you're going to be able to do with them next year or even in the offseason as we continue to gear up for it. I mean, Wandale in the second do not equate for me on a 27 first. But hey, you're probably happy with that 11 receptions for 113 yards that he gave you this past week.
Short-term gratification happened for sure. Each ticking day that goes by, you're probably going to want that 27 first though.
Oh yeah.
So the Frog asked us, and we've kind of danced around this question the whole show, but the bigger question is, do you prefer to go through the offseason using second and third rounders as cherries chasing a bigger fish, or are you cool cashing them in for Monty, Jacoby, Myers, aging vets? So are you mostly trying to use those seconds and thirds to get deals to go through? Are you willing just to ISO sell your seconds, your thirds to get these vets as we enter the non-point scoring season?
Yeah, man. Honestly, this is a fantastic question too, because I'll tell you this. We talked about it a little bit, but really going straight into it, Ty, the hit rate on seconds and thirds, man. I think there's actual statistical analytics out there, where people actually do break this down. It's not good. I will tell you. You can look it up on your own, but I think the percentages are significantly. I actually
have it up in front of me here, Gabe.
Perfect. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. What is the percentage?
Shit.
Yeah. It's not good, man.
That's the joke.
It's not good.
No.
It is not good.
No.
What I can tell you, I think, dude, it's got to be 20 to 30% at most, at best. And I do think it's actually even lower than that. But the reality is that second and thirds, just the hit rate on them in general is not good. And so for me, going into the offseason, I just mentioned it, where right now is a good time for me to want to buy into veterans, especially if they're going to be giving me an influx of costs, an influx of costs on my picks, right? If we're going into the offseason now and you're like, man, that 26 second is actually, starting, it's going to increase in value, right? Let's say I'm the guy that believes hey, these picks are going to continue to ascend in value. Yes, I'm willing to overpay for your 26 second right now because of what I believe it will be in a couple of months. Here, have my insert veteran, here's my Derrick Henry for your 26 second. Yes, I will absolutely make that pivot, right? There are people, I'm telling you, that will pay that much more to get those picks because of what they believe they're going to be able to do come draft season. And when draft season rolls around, they're like, oh, actually, it's not what it's all cut out to be. Then, they're holding all these picks. And what you don't want to do, and we've said it before, is you don't want to be the one making the picks unless you're so convicted that there's this player that is going to be so great, right? At the end of the day, they're a tool into getting into better assets, right? Picks are a tool to get into better assets. They're not the tool that you want to use per se, if you had to make that selection. And so that's where, for me right now, as we transition into the offseason, yes, I'm using my second and third rounders to buy aging veterans if I can for really good prices. If somebody's willing to sell somebody for really cheap and you want to take my 26, 27 second, by all means, go right ahead. I mean, because the reality is that come fantasy football season, come, next year, I'm going to want to use those picks anyway to buy into players that are going to be producing for my team already as it is. So if I can get them at a cheaper cost right now in the offseason, then why would I not do that?
Yeah. I think for me, the only caveat I'll put on that is I am happily sending my 2026 seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths and even sixths, even the 601. I'll send that away to get into like these aged veterans. I don't want to do that with my 27, 28, soon to be 2029 picks because I can use those throughout the whole year. The power of those picks is you have the flexibility and you don't have to assign anything into that.
Right.
The ideal play is you move those seconds and thirds this year and seconds and thirds next year and just delay that decision making. Like, so you don't want to be the one to make the decision. So the longer you can delay that and carry that value forward, it's probably the best thing for your dynasties here. But yeah, 26 picks, happily blowing those away for veterans that make sense. I will also say though, having an extra second, having a third to make the math work on some of these bigger deals that actually move your team forward, I'll happily do that versus ISO spending my picks if I can. Especially if, you know, again, some rosters, the roster space expands in the offseason, some stay the same. If I'm spending a pick for a player, that means I got to drop someone. That means that I'm kind of adding a lot of stuff to the roster. And by blowing a pick on a player, like a veteran, I'm probably accepting that I'm losing my flexibility with that player. And now not only do I have a little bit less flexibility, but I also have one less roster spot to really navigate with. So you just got to do the cost benefit analysis on your own team, figure out what makes sense for you, what actually moves your team forward. Don't just go, well, I watched the All Gas trade show, so I'm going to send a second for David Montgomery on this team, even though it doesn't make sense. You know, so
it's crazy to me. So like looking at, again, KTC, keep this in mind. Like KTC is not the best platform to use, but it is a good indicator of what the overall sentiment is on a lot of these players, right? So looking back at this, KTC is saying that a early 26 third is 10 spots lower than a guy like Chris Godwin.
Oh, wow.
Mike Evans. These guys are all in that range.
Wow.
You mean to tell me that I could go and buy you can buy Mike Evans right now with a 26 third? Absolutely. I will happily pay that and just know that, yeah, the wheels are probably going to fall off on you, but damn it, maybe after a couple of really good weeks of Mike Evans or even Chris Godwin, like I would be willing to make those pivots every single day.
If I spend a third on someone and I get a single start out of them, that's probably worth it.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, to your point, yeah, that's actually a good comparison because in season, you're willing to pay a third for a guy like Trey Benson, who's going to give you 1 week start because James Conner got injured, you know, and he'll be back the next week. It's like, yeah, let me get that third. Or, hey, you know what? I'm willing to pay a third for Quinn Ewers because Tua got injured or whatever it is, right? Like at the end of the day, I guess we don't realize how much or what the price is that we pay in season, right? Because we actually start to pay attention a little bit more of what the cost is in the off season of these picks. But the reality is that you can do so much worse with these picks in season based on what we actually pay for them when we're actually trying to get points scored on our teams.
Well said. Well, we appreciate you, the Frog, too. I'm assuming everyone wants a first over Wandale, but you let us know. You want Addison in a third? You want DJ Moore, Gainwell in a fourth? What are you doing? All right. Lorenzo, 08. Big deal. 12 teams, start 12. Best ball in the finals. 0.25 point per carry, 0.5 first down bonus. Sent Smitty and 3/3 for some vet dart throws. Fingers crossed it pays off. So
it paid off, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, Derrick Henry alone, I think, got you like 60 points.
I was going to say, I see that one big name there. Derrick Henry, that probably won you the week. Aaron Jones had like a 20 spot?
Yeah, he was good too, man. He was good. Fell into the end zone and I think it was like somewhere around their 20 points.
Sutton dropped one in the end zone. I think I traded Sutton away before the game, but I kind of lost track of what he did last week. But yeah, Smitty, 3/3. The math ain't math in there.
It's
For some crusty vets. Give me the vets.
Oh yeah.
Best ball, especially, right? Like just give me 30 seconds on why best ball and the point per carry, why it just makes it not close.
I mean, again, we talk about it, right? But the darts that you get in a best ball league, you don't have to start any of these guys. So theoretically, you only assume their best weeks. And so if Derrick Henry goes out there and has 20 carries for 5 yards, you don't have to start him. Like, you don't have to worry about that. If Aaron Jones goes out there and does the same, again, these guys don't enter your lineup unless they hit. And having a guy like Derrick Henry who has the ceiling that he literally quite just showed us in the championship game, is the reason why you want to make these type of deals, right? Because you have guys like that where they're able to go in and hit your lineup and hit it very, very hard any given time. And so, I mean, even Cortland Sutton, like week to week, Ty, I wouldn't know who to tell you to start between Cortland Sutton and Smitty every single week, because I do believe that Cortland Sutton is going to have games where he outscores Devontae Smith, just like I believe that Devontae Smith will have games that he outscores Cortland Sutton, right? But having the additional dart pieces like Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones make all the difference, man. And those thirds don't make up for that.
100%. Even going into non-point scoring season, being able to build out your roster this way leaves you probably more flexible because you don't feel like you have to overpay for a wide receiver, overpay for that running back. Like having these guys in the bank, that inherently gives you flexibility on a best ball roster. Cool. All right. I got a couple more here for you, Gabe.
All right,
you're going to recognize this one. Maybe it wasn't from this week, but you know, it was one from the All Gas Trade Show League, Premium Gas League. You and Stiley got one done. So it's a 14-team start 11 best ball, 5 -2 quarterback scoring. It's a tiered PPR. Running backs get 1, wide receivers get 1.25, tight ends get 2.0. You got to start 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. You have 2 flexes. Point per carry, passing first down, running back, tight end for points everywhere. You know the deal. You gave Stiley Kittle, Slayton, Mike Wilson, and you received Terry McLaurin, Alec Pierce, Chig Okonkwo, and old Shador Sanders. Shouts out to Lee.
He
official
won.
Inaugural champion of the All Gas Trade Show Premium Gas League. Hats off to you. You know, you built a monster and you kept it. So good work. Kittle didn't help Stiley this week.
He did get injured.
McLaurin, Pierce, Chig had a nice week. Sanders, yeah. Talk to me here. This is your deal. Talk to me how this came to be and how you broke it down.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was actually eliminated, I think, in the first round of the playoffs, I believe. And so I was already starting to position myself into like, okay, let me get into the mindset of like, let me get off of the aging asset, right? And see if I can maybe extract some of that value that otherwise I don't believe may be there, right? And so immediately when I say that, I go to a guy like Michael Wilson, right? Michael Wilson is fantastic for this year. Like, he was so good this year, but I think a lot of that had to do with QB changes, Marvin Harrison being injured. Like, there was so much, James Conner being out, so they weren't really as effective in the run game, so they had to pass more. They were always down. Like, I feel like Michael Wilson, he could be good next year, and I could be very wrong on this, but I was going in with the assumption that like Michael Wilson is good for a contender this year. He probably won't be an asset or a viable asset as much next year when, you know, obviously the regime changes, there's different quarterback involved and, you know, whatever that looks like. Right. So immediately I was like, well, can I extract some value in that? Okay, let me look. Oh, Terry McLaurin. He's not using Terry McLaurin right now because Terry McLaurin's injured. He also has had a lot of QB changes. Terry McLaurin, I believe, is a very good receiver. Very, very good receiver. But we didn't get to see any of that pretty much for the most part of this year because Jaden Daniels was injured. Terry McLaurin was injured. Then we had Marcus Mariota. And then, you know, it was in turmoil for Washington all year long, right? Same thing with Darius Slayton, right? Darius Slayton was one, he's already a veteran wide receiver as it is. And he was only good for somebody, in my opinion, right now, while Jackson Dart was out, he was being targeted a lot, you know, and so it just, Malik Neighbors not being there. Like, I just feel like those two receivers specifically were good assets for Stiley for this year. I don't know that I necessarily believe in them going into next year, whereas Terry McLaurin kind of gives me a little bit of something to hold on to, right? Alec Pierce, another guy who was, in my opinion, really good with Daniel Jones. He was really, really good with Daniel Jones. Not so much when it shifted over to Phillip Rivers. And so, again, if I'm looking at that, it's like, okay, well, at least it gives me something to hold on to, right? I'm not expecting Alec Pierce to be anything extravagant, but in a best ball league, you want opportunities at the dartboard. And I do believe that he was giving me something of that sort, right? Kittle is Kittle, and he's fantastic, right? But again, as we get into a off season, people aren't necessarily wanting to buy that George Kittle, right? Unless you're listening to this show and you want to buy veterans for cheap because people are willing to sell them. But in the big picture, most people are not wanting to buy George Kittle in the offseason, right? And so for me, I was wanting to take the upside chance in a 14 team where quarterbacks are already scarce as it is. And I believe you have to start 2, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it's a start 2 quarterback. So, right there off the bat, it's 28 starters. There's only 32 starters in a league. So there's not very many people who have a surplus of quarterback, if you will. And so I was wanting to take the high chance that Shadur can become something really, really good. And I am excited for what Shadur's outlook is because he's shown really good flashes. And so I was willing to take the gamble, especially because I already have a pretty good tight end room inside of the August Trade Show League.
Yeah. Agreed. When I looked at this one, I traded you Mike Wilson. So, it's always weird to see either your picks get traded away or someone you traded someone get traded away again. I think you can just cross off Pearson, Mike Wilson. They're probably the same bet. I'll take Pearson in a nutshell, but they're probably the same thing. In a start 2 wide receiver and only 2 flex, you got to be really smart with the wide receiver darts you carry. Mm-hmm. Slayton, 0 value in the deal for me. If he's your 25th guy in your roster, cool. Right. But you just got to be mindful of that and know your team construction. And I agree, man. 14 teamer, best ball, even having just a quarterback option that's going to play. That's something. Oh, yeah. So even if Shador doesn't become something special, as long if he can just give you some kind of weeks next year, that's a very nice piece to get. Chigakonkwo, also really quick, Alec Pierce, he had 28 points last week. So he's even had a moment after,
there you go. Yeah.
So still pretty good. He went from running wind sprints down the field, getting no targets, to being an awesome piece in best ball. Chigakonkwo had a great week. Just again, not putting a lot of oomph behind Chigakonkwo's name.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin, don't got to go into my love for Terry McLaurin. Shouts out Drew Sorensen music. The real question is, how do you value Kittle in a start 2 tight end, 2.0 tight end premium? What is the split that makes sense? Getting a quarterback, getting a wide receiver, and then even if you want to say it's like Mike Wilson and Chig, and I'll take Wilson there, having Pierce there, like I can do the math and get there. Kittle is just such a big piece in a 14 by 11, 25 total roster spot. How did you break down Kittle between, let's say, like McLaurin and Sanders?
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of where, it was broken out, right? Where I sat there and I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I have, Jake Ferguson. I think I had Tucker Kraft. I had Isaiah Likely. Like I had a couple of other pieces already at the tight end position where I didn't necessarily need George Kittle. And in my opinion, going into that offseason, right? If Cleveland goes out there and drafts a high-end wide receiver, or if Cleveland goes out there and drafts, a good offensive lineman, like the value of Shadur, in my opinion, will go up. I don't think Cleveland's not drafting a quarterback. They're not going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
And so especially at least
add a 6th and 7th quarterback to the room while Deshaun Watson's coming back. Sure.
Correct. And it's not going to happen, right? I doubt that it happens, especially because they've seen what they've gotten in Shadur, right? And so he's shown really good flashes, man. So I just believe that if they do anything to improve the offense in any way, people are going to be really excited about what he's going to do in Cleveland. And so for me, it was more so like, I feel like I'm buying Terry McLaurin at such a low price that Terry McLaurin, if he goes out there and has a good 1 or 2 weeks next year, he's a guy that you're probably going to be able to sell for more than what you paid for him. Same thing with Shadur, right? So whereas George Kittle, I don't know that there's anything that George Kittle can do at this point, Ty, to increase his value. Like he is just, he's who he is. He's a fantastic tight end, but he's starting to get older, right? Kind of like a Travis Kelce, right? Where no matter what they do, their value is always going to be declining. And George Kittle's one injury away. And again, I really like George Kittle, so hope it doesn't happen. But he's one injury away from losing it all. Like quite literally. If Travis Kelce went out there and got injured, last week, nobody would want to pay anything for him. Same thing with a guy like George Kittle, just because of how old these guys are already as it is and how the fantasy community perceives them, right? So again, from the tight end perspective, sure, I might have taken a little bit of a loss, but knowing that we're going into the off season, I wanted to make sure that I had something that could accrue in value.
just looking back, man, I traded you Kittle, I traded you Wilson, I traded
yeah.
I traded Lee Pierce. So like I've really fed into this trade. So
Shout out to you, my friend.
yeah, shouts out me. Yeah, man. I mean, again, 14 by 11, some scarcity involved. I can lean either side. I'll lean Stiley's side because while Kittle
and he won the ship. He won the ship.
It's pretty easy to say I'll lean Stiley's side when he wins the ship, right? But I think having that shot at elite tight end really opens you up in here. I'm hopeful that I can back my way into some quarterback starts, fill out running back, and figure out wide receiver. I think on Lee's side, getting the Kittle was the big piece. So, but yeah, man, that's a wrap on the 2025 season. So first and foremost, thanks to everyone who took time to post in the Discord of your trades, to talk about this stuff with us for hours on end. Life's short. We only have this stuff for so long. So enjoy the ups, enjoy the downs, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the sweats. That's why we do this stuff, right? And it's not for long, but we have it for now. Even thinking like around the dynasty space, like old Memphis, he passed away this weekend suddenly. We don't have this thing for long. So hug your loved ones, and I love all y'all and appreciate everything that you do for tuning in, making trades, being a part of the community. Gabe, looking ahead to 2026 here, from now until the combine, is there anything in particular that you're doing with your dynasty teams? Are you closing the app, deleting it, and not coming back for a couple months? Are you staying active? Like, what are you doing personally?
Definitely taking some time away. Again, just we've been at it, man. Again, 25-8, like for the last 4 months, it's just been a grind. And now that it's come to a halt, it's kind of like, okay, not very much from a value perspective, not much changes between now and, pretty much the start of the combine outside of with draft picks. That's really what can start to assume more value. And so what I'm trying to do right now, Ty, is one, take a little bit of break. After that, though, definitely wanting to see and poke around a little bit and see if I can buy some veterans for, like we mentioned, for those cheap prices. I'm not wanting to move any first right now. I'm wanting to really see how the combine, how the NFL draft shapes out before I start to move any of those picks, unless it's a fantastic deal where I just can't pass it up, right? But other than that, I'm going to hold on to them because, again, I think the sentiment has been so bad on this class that I do believe it's going to get better. I mean, there's only one way for it to go, and really that's up. I mean, people don't want the class already as it is, so you can't get much worse than people not wanting it already as it is. And so, I mean, at this point, like, buy veterans if you can for cheap. Really wait to see, especially for those first round picks, to see how everything plays out. And I think that's kind of the strategy right now. Again, I think you have a lot of people who are going to want to start to sell off the veterans. And I think you have a window of opportunity where you're able to capitalize on that.
Yep. Again, just always be mindful of what you're actually carrying forward right now. Like, what do you have a plan? We don't just do it to do it. You do it with a plan. Try to hold on to those picks or use those picks in a smart way. But I agree with everything that you've said, my friend. And I think we've said it all for the 2025 season. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to the All Gas Trade Show this year. Hope you have a great 2026. We'll be back in January. Patreon.com/allgas gets you in the Discord. DDFantasyFootball.com gets you access to all the tools to dominate your league. Trades and chills here, $3.99 a month. Dynasty Deal Show, that's not stopping. I'll see y'all on Friday. So bring your trades, bring your vibes. We'll have a good time on Friday. And again, hope you won. If you didn't win, hope you set your team up for success next year. And while we're here, there's always next year. So I love y'all. We out of this thing. Peace. Happy New Year. Something.
Yeah, Happy New Year. There you go. Boom, 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 boom.
Bow, bow, bow.